up your chest. Really gaze up and get a little bit of an extension as much as you can. Hold. And then from there, raise your arms up overhead, bend your knees a lot, and see if you can touch the belly to thigh. Right? And then relax your head all the way down and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly come all the way up and rest your arms down by your side. And this is like the neutral position. This is what's called the mountain position. See if you can place your heel toe to touch so that they're really together, and really squeeze your thighs together as well, right? Place your hands on your hips, come high up on your toes, keeping the heel toe together, and down slow. That's 1. And come high up on your toes, and sink your heels slowly down to the floor. 2. And 3, come high up on your toes, and slowly come down. 3, and 4, all the way up and down. And don't worry about it if you lose balance. This is really hard to do at first, but that's why you're doing this, right? Because our neurological system sometimes gets attacked by lupus, and we become clumsy, and we fall a lot because we lose our motor control over our body. And that's all kind of part of lupus. It's the one that we don't talk about much. But we do start to lose function of our muscles. And that's why I want to keep doing this for you guys, so you guys stay ahead of the curve and don't succumb to lupus, but do something about it to get stronger. Because the more you do this, the stronger you will become. And you see how you feel this in your legs? And then after that, just shake it out a little bit. And then what I want you to do is sink your hips a lot, heel toes still together, inner thighs squeezing together, right? And when you look down, I want you to make sure that the knees stay behind your toes. In fact, I want you to raise your toes up. And bring your arms up like this and sit down as if you're going to sit down on a chair. And tuck your tail slightly under, really get your core to engage. And stay here. And then slowly come up. We're going to do that 4 more times. So down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and up. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and up. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and up. And boy, by then, because we haven't been moving, and those of you who are going through a flare, the muscles and aches and pains are there. So the whole point to the exercise, even though it seems counterintuitive, it's supposed to flush out the toxins, all the cytokines, the inflammatory cytokines that we have circulating all over in the way of antibodies, right? That creates a lot of pain. So the more you move, the more we can circulate it out of our body. And that's essentially what we're doing, right? I keep telling you guys that sometimes movement and stretch is better than the exercise, better than a massage. Hard to believe, but you're helping yourself get your muscles stronger, and you're allowing your body to feel a little bit better because you flushed out the toxins and improving mitochondrial sufficiency, improving metabolism. These are things that's going to long-term help you. Even though you don't feel like moving, once you move, the endorphin rush that you get from the exercise will really help you. So keep to it. Trust me on this, okay? Feet wide this time. Let's say about 3 feet apart, depending on how tall you are. But when you bend your knees, I want you to look down, make sure that the knees line up with the second toe, okay? That the knees don't come in like this. It's oftentimes, like I said, a lot of you guys are going through the flares and muscles have weakened, right? And so you might not quite have the strength to do certain things. Don't feel bad. Just take it slow, and eventually your body will kind of catch up with you, okay? So I want you to keep your upper body perpendicular to the floor, right? You're going to sink your hips down and just jump back and forth like this. Easy movements into your hips and come right up. And again, like, I guess, just bounce, not jump. Bounce your legs up and down like this, making sure that the knees line up to the second toes, right? And come up. You should feel your thighs kicking in, and sometimes it can be a very intense burn, right? And back. And I've noticed after I got lupus that I do get sore a lot quicker because, again, mitochondrial insufficiency is part of the deal with lupus, right? So you want to challenge your body a little bit because the fact of the matter is the muscles, you do lose what you don't use. So you want to be using them. So sink your hips a little bit more, and like I said, keep your upper body perpendicular to the bowl of your pelvis, right? And then you're just going to do a provocative move. You're going to tuck your tail forward and back, arch your back. Exhale forward and back. Those of you who have a hard time staying down like this because of weakness, come up and do this. Slightly up. Tuck and back. Tuck, forward and back. Notice how my upper body's not moving. It's just my pelvis coming forward and arching back. Exhale forward and inhale back. Exhale forward and inhale back. And come all the way up. And you know what? Just shake it out a little bit. Take a little break. And I have one more thing to do. Taking it easy. This is not very hard, right? Trying to minimize what I make you guys do. But for this one, again, I want you to bend your knees down, sink your hips down. Make sure that the knees stay with the second toe, or the knees line up with the second toe. And then from there, I want you to raise the right heel and then place it down. Left and down. Right and down. Left and down. And if you're following with me, you know that this burns, right? This is very good exercise to get toned back in all the areas that we want, like in your glutes, your thighs, lose weight, gain muscle. These are all good for that. So do that and come all the way up. Heel, toe your feet together. And then see if you can come all the way down onto your bum. Okay? These are all functional things. I call it transitional movements, going from sit to stand, from sitting to standing. These are things that we should be able to do, but I know early on in my lupus flares, over my 19 years of dealing with it, a lot of the functional mobility was really hard to keep up with. And so I couldn't do this before. But I had to work on it because I didn't want to rely and, feel like so much older than I was. So I really worked hard to do some functional movement. So I want you guys to challenge yourselves to do the same, okay? Now that we've worked a lot with our hips and legs, let's stretch everything out. So I want you to flop your knees together like this. And if you can't sit comfortably like this, some of you guys might be here. Place a block below your hips, and you can do that too. Let me show you. So here's a block that you can sit on. And it doesn't even have to be a block. It should be a, thick enough block to raise your pelvis up. And you should be able to keep your chest wide open. The whole idea is to keep the chest open. Proper posture is everything to kind of get the energy flowing, right? I'm going to remove this block because my hips are very flexy. So this feels better for me. Sit up nice and tall, keeping your chest back, hinge forward a little bit, and you should feel a deep, deep stretch into your hips. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. And take a deep breath in, and exhale. Good. And then I want you to extend your legs forward like this. Toes come up. And if you can't sit up like this without hunching down because your low back is too tight, most of you will be, sit up nice and tall, but bend your knees if you have to, right? Okay, so from here you're going to extend your arms forward and just go exhale forward, lean forward and back a few times. And you should feel a nice pull in the back of your thighs, keeping your sit bones nice and level on the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then I want you to keep your left leg straight and wrap the right foot on the outside of the left knee. And sit up nice and tall. And see if you can twist over the right side. Twist easy in your spine. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back. Straighten the right leg. Place the left foot on the outside of the right knee, and then twist over to the left side. Right elbow on the outside of the left knee, and then twist. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then after that, give yourself a big applause, because the more you do, despite how you feel, because oftentimes I know, I've been there, that you don't want to move, because everything hurts. I mean, there were times when everything, like the clothing that touched my skin hurt, right? But despite that, if you keep moving,